Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Tuning In. Learn to be your own psychic, where we move one episode at a time away from the need for external validation and towards strong, confident trust in our own intuition. You guys don't need psychics, you are psychic. Today, we're going to talk about agents of the matrix. What is that? How is that important to you? Why is it important for you to sharpen and use your discernment? The double-edged sword to the access of information that is out there and how it is your responsibility to find your truths among what floats around. Most of this is resonance, but some of it is just good old-fashioned critical thinking and pushing back. Does that even make sense? Should be your default response to everything. So, agents of the matrix are the people out there in the sea of misinformation that spread misinformation. They give you wrong information, not just their version of the truth. That's a little different. I mean, flat out wrong information. This is where your discernment will come in. This is where it is up to you to do your due diligence and diving deeper to see a full picture and all potential aspects of a subject to find what the truth is for you. Not to just jump on the first pretty, easily digestible piece of information and accept it because you understood it. The truth is very rarely easy or pretty. This is what we call the rabbit hole. You dive into the rabbit hole so that you don't assume the rabbit knows what it's talking about, because they don't always. It's up to you to figure out who is a genuine truth walker versus who is an agent of the matrix. Where do we find agents of the matrix? They are everywhere. They are in every single solitary level of awareness. Again, they don't always know they're an agent. If you have been through deconstruction, you realize pretty quickly that any critical thought, any questioning of the nature of the Bible, the inconsistencies, the philosophies, the requirement for blind faith over truth, it just ain't right. Most of us growing up without foundation are taught to fear alternative beliefs. We are taught to invest in the faith of the word we don't understand, except through the words of the preacher on Sundays. The preacher, unwittingly, an agent. The worst part is they don't even know. They are also acting and working in their own faith, not in what they teach, but faith in what they've learned. They've learned it as truth, and they teach it as truth because they accepted it blindly. As long as we don't question it, we are learning what they are teaching and then teaching it for others to learn. This is why, as teachers, guides, and healers, we need to have done the work, earned the wisdom, sought and fought for our truths, because it is that that separates us from the rote regurgitators. This is not exclusive to religions. This is rampant in all things, including spirituality, especially spirituality. Have you been on TikTok lately? The worst part is the teachers and the guides on TikTok, on YouTube, on social media in general, don't take the time to really look into what they are teaching. They are trying to go viral and make money. They thought something sounded good or was cool or was a cool take or sounded pretty or would catch fire, and they turn right around and teach it as truth, same day even. No effort in discerning the truth, no effort in finding resonance. Not easy, I understand it, and it feels good. That's not what I'm talking about. It's about true resonance. And if you've never sat in your own energy, then you would have difficulty understanding what resonates with you versus what sounds easy to understand and feels good. Truth is rarely either. I'm going to give you an example of something I saw about a year ago, maybe even more, on TikTok. It was probably my first experience with how crazy information can spread like wildfire because people don't discern. People don't look for the resonance. They don't try to find the truth of the matter. They just are like, ooh, I like that, and they run with it. So at this time, it was at least a year ago, I ran across a video of a young woman in a yoga pose talking about chakras. First of all, let me just say, if a person is teaching you about chakras and they say chakras, you should question that. Anyone that has sat with a mentor to learn about chakras in a way that they should be able to teach about them will know better. They will know how to say the word. A little passionate there. My bad. Now, this person spoke about several things in one video. First, the hook was you are manifesting with your chakras wrong. Okay, we are already off to a crazy, stupid start because you don't manifest using your chakras. Chakra work is about alignment. It's about energy. It's a outside of energetic alignment, and as a byproduct, they serve no role in manifesting. You do not manifest with your chakras, at least not intentionally. You align them, and that brings you into alignment, which helps you manifest. It's an indirect thing. You are not conscientiously sitting down seeking to manifest through your chakras specifically. That's wild. Manifesting is literally about being in alignment. Not just being in alignment, being in alignment with already having the thing. It's in the Nine of Cups. The wish card, you can have your wishes. The Nine of Cups shows a guy sitting in front of 9 cups. The guy is happy as hell, okay? He's grinning bigger than shit. He can't see it, but he trusts that it's there. He is in the energy of already having it. And when he turns around, he will see what he already knows is behind him, even though he hasn't seen it. Nine of Cups is your key to manifestation. It is literally being in an alignment with already having the thing. The next point in the video is how you use affirmations with each chakra to manifest. Okay, we're wrong again. Affirmations do not manifest. Words have power for sure. They carry energy, and that energy has an impact on your alignment, or at least it can. But it is not the affirmations that manifest. Affirmations are permission slips, they are tools. They can be used to help you condition your own mindset and energetically align yourself to what you want to believe in. The power is in you. You don't need the affirmations. You are just granting yourself permission with them. Again, we are manifesting neither with affirmations nor with chakras. Now, she moves into this explanation about keywords for each chakra. This is true. This is a true thing. The 7 main chakras have keywords. They are in order from root to crown. I am, I feel, I do, I love, I speak, I see, I understand. Now here's the meat of the matter, and here's what people really grabbed onto. This woman said, you have to coordinate what you want with the chakra it aligns to by using the keyword. She said something like, I feel safe and secure, and tethered that to the sacral because of the words I feel, and warned against using I am for all affirmations. Okay, I've heard enough at this point. That's it. That's all I needed. First of all, I am affirmations are the most powerful because they tap into your being and not an action as an extension of yourself, like I feel or I see. So I am is much more powerful because it skips the extension of you and it becomes you. If you were telling yourself to change your mindset, you would pick the strongest anchor, which is I am. Second of all, I feel safe and secure is a root chakra focus. Safety and security are all about the root. It doesn't matter what keyword you use in front of the focus. That's not what assigns the intention. The focus is what assigns the intention. So this woman is so wrong on 13 levels. And the worst part, it caught on. It caught on like fire. Over the next week, I probably saw 17 more videos of a similar nature. They all said what she said, some verbatim. I literally lost my shit. How does something so wrong catch on? Because the truth is typically hard to hear and even harder to accept. If something is too hard to hear or to accept, it won't catch on as easily. This is an example of how a new age concept can justify old concepts that aren't working because they aren't the truth. So, okay, here's why your manifestations really aren't working. It's not because you're doing it wrong, because you are refusing to embody the version of yourself that already has what you are trying to call in. It's not the alignment thing. It's because you are using affirmations wrong. It's because you're depending on affirmations. But I digress. The point is, it explained to everybody why they're not getting their manifestation, even though they're using the affirmations. If somebody made a video and came out and said, okay, you're not manifesting because it's all wrong, it has nothing to do with affirmations. You don't need those. It has everything to do with you choosing to believe that it's already yours and acting as if it's already yours and embodying the version of yourself that already has it. That's alignment. It's a frequency thing. That's harder to hear. That's harder to accept. It's harder to understand. And it's hard as hell to do. But that's the truth. But people don't want to accept that truth. And because this was easier to swallow, because this was easier to digest, it caught like wildfire. If something is too easy on the ears, it is likely not good for you. It's likely not good for your truth, at least. Now, how can I say this about people and then preach that I believe in individual truths? Because there are universal truths. They are fundamental and they are rigid. They are what they are. And then there are reasonably flexible individual truths. I have a whole podcast on this. Some things cannot be changed. They are the foundational truths, the universal truths. And some things can be flexible. Those are the individual truths. They can allow us to color our individual experiences with our own paint. They are our permission slips, our tools, our comforts, what we choose to believe and what we love. This is why affirmations can work, because they are an individual truth. We can use affirmations to change our mindset. to help us to align ourselves with the version of us that already has what we want, what we're trying to call in, as far as abundance goes. It's a permission slip. What doesn't change is, in order to receive, we have to align ourselves with the version of ourselves that already has what we are trying to receive. That doesn't change. That is the truth. The individual truths that we can color that with is how we obtain that. Do we journal? Do we vision board? Do we use affirmations? And again, the affirmations are not manifesting for you. They are a permission slip you use to grant yourself access to the version of you that is aligned. I know, it sounds like I'm getting really complicated. I'm going to dial it back. Hopefully that you understood that though. Our tools of choice work for us because they give us permission to remember or to access divine energy we are just now learning to embrace. Tarot cards, they absolutely work, but they work as a tool for the intuitive. They are not magical themselves. They are permission slips for the user to tap into and read the energy. You may be thinking, but everybody can read tarot cards. Absolutely. Anybody and everybody can read tarot cards, and you can read them your own way. You don't even need the damn guidebook. There is not a person in my family that reads a tarot card according to the written meanings. None of us. We all channel using the cards until we outgrow it, and then we don't use the cards anymore. The reason why anybody and everybody can use the tarot cards is because everybody is psychic. The people who use tarot are simply granting themselves permission to tap in. It's that easy. It's that simple. Affirmations are tools. They are not necessary for you to decide your abundance or your mindset, but they may help one that struggles with either. They do work, but they're an individual truth. They don't do the manifestation for you. They allow you to move yourself into the mindset so that you can be in the state of manifestation. Crystals are tools. They are not necessary for one to move through life or access energy, but they are really, really pretty and precious sources of energy that can aid, empower, amplify based on their characteristics. They're not required, but they absolutely do work. Crystals are the best, most widely accessible tool. They are literally a living energy source. The problem is not ever with the tools, though. The problem is in the people who wield the tools with half-truths and misinformation. This is not beneficial, especially when it is presented with the kind of blatant spiritual narcissism that mocks and judges. And again, most of these people don't even realize they are agents, just like the religious leaders don't realize they are agents. But it's the same trope. It's the same program written by the same oppressors targeted at different levels of awareness, especially when you're just smart or wise enough to recognize the previous lie, but haven't really found your solid new truth yet. You've broken free before. You've broken free before. Do it again, because you'll have to. And again, and again, and again. It's never going to end. You're always going to be in a cycle of ascension and learning new truths and evolving your understanding and discerning. Only you can do it, though. Your relationship with truth is your responsibility. Your responsibility for your discernment falls solely on you, and these are your priorities. It will never and it will be a necessary effort for the rest of your life because these agents are at every level of awareness. And the higher you ascend, the more you will see that, and the more aware of them you will become more quickly. The people who teach from what they heard on TikTok or YouTube without ever taking the time to really look into it or feel it themselves are definitely agents, because that's not teaching, that's regurgitating. That's not mastery, that's mimicry. That's not guidance, that's gossip. The most dangerous agents of the Matrix aren't even aware that they're agents. They think they're free, they think they're helping, but they're just reciting the same script or investing in practices that keep you stuck right where you're at. Now, here's where it's going to get kind of interesting. You need to hear this. The agents of the Matrix and the psychic community, the people doing collective readings and oracle answers, I kid you not. Now, if you have seen me or followed me for any length of time, you know how passionate I am about this. Yes, no oracle is bad for you. It literally keeps you stuck in bad pattern and hinders your own intuition. We are not meant to live by oracle. We are meant to be guided by our own intuition. We are meant to look internally, not externally. The dependency on the yes no is driven by the unhealed versions of ourselves. The need to have the answer before we take the action goes against our very reason for being here. We are meant to take the step. You didn't just think it up for no reason, but you talked yourself out of it for a reason, and you need to figure out that reason and heal it. When we heal ourselves past the need for the yes no oracle, and we start letting our intuition guide us, then we are living how we are meant to. So you know what I'm going to say now. Yes, no oracle readers are agents of the Matrix. Whether they know it or not, they are. They enable your need for the answer before you are willing to do the thing. They cement the stuckness. They prevent your radical acceptance, and they prevent your growth in a situation. Because what you think you need, what you think you are finding in that yes no answer is not what you are actually seeking, and it is not what you are actually getting. You are coping. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. And you need to find better ways to cope that are beneficial to your growth and healing. It's that simple. I'm sorry. I know that's hard, but it is that simple. It's the same with collective read. Guys, I know collective reads are free, but they are not good for you. If you really, really want to get advice from a reader, go to someone you trust and pay for the individual reads. These collective reads are reading a collective energy, and they are vague as all hell, and who knows what they are tapping into. It can resonate with your story and still be someone else's prediction. There's no way to discern if it's for you. There's no way. If this showed up, it's for you. No, if this showed up, it's because you've watched 3 collective reads already and your algorithm's like, oh, they like the collective readings, give them more. I'm telling you right now, especially if you aren't healed from the past, it's going to be almost impossible for you to discern whether a reading is for you or not. Either way, it is spiritual junk food. It is also coping. It is also keeping you stuck. And there is a need for you to heal past the need to seek answers this way. These collective readers are agents of the Matrix, whether they know it or not, because they enable you to be stuck in a place that you don't need to be. I promise you, healed people are not live hopping for yes no answers, and healed people are not investing in collective readings. They are meditating for their own answers. I promise you. I promise you. It is important for you to discern genuine readers and those who are working within the agency of the matrix. And there are ways you can tell. An agent of the matrix is going to get big fast. They're looking for it. They are seeking viral. They are seeking views. They are seeking likes. They will say some crazy stuff and the people will eat it up because it's digestible and it's pretty, but it's false. An agent of the matrix is going to do things like mock or judge. They won't just state their truth. They will insult, they will chastise, they will belittle, and they will drag others along with it. An agent of the matrix will do unethical things, like read a third party's energy to get you information about them. Y'all, it blows my mind. It blows my mind how any reader can just be like, okay, we'll just tap into this person without their permission. Blows my mind. If you ask a reader about someone else's thoughts, intentions, energies, wants, needs, love, anything at all, and they are willing to tap in to a whole nother person without that person's permission, that's a problem. Think about that. Think about this guy or this girl over here that you don't like is off asking some psychic to tap into your energy to read you for them. You'd be okay with that? You sure as hell wouldn't. It is so unethical. It's not even funny. Agents of the Matrix, y'all. An agent of the Matrix is going to make money off of things that don't benefit you, or they're going to make money off of spreading information that is wrong. Yes, no oracles, collective reads, spells, predictions, all the things. We as readers are meant to help you navigate energies and find answers for your individual growth and healing. We are not meant to be carnival attractions. We are not meant to be garage performers. We are not meant to give you oracle and only oracle. We are meant to help you in profound energetic ways. We are meant to help you where you struggle until you heal above the struggle. A couple of questions you can ask yourself when you see something questionable, something that you think you might want to invest in, but you aren't sure. Do your beliefs support your freedom or your dependency? Does this specific thing support your freedom or your dependency? Do your tools amplify your truth, or do they tether you to someone else's authority? With the ease of access to all of this information, it is imperative now, more than ever, that you use your discernment when you find yourself in the face of this content. This information is often regurgitated from one person to another within hours of hearing it themselves. Think about how much you hear that other people tell you that they literally just heard same day and posted a video about it immediately. It's not sharing wisdom, and we need to recognize that. Spiritual healers, teachers, and guides, good ones, work with their own truths that have been earned over years and years of experience and earned wisdom, not from this morning's FYP. You don't get to skip the apprenticeship of sitting with the energy and listening to yourself. That's a long, hard road. You don't get to skip that. You don't get to work without mastering your discernment. You don't get to teach and lead and guide. You don't get to call yourself a guide if your only source is a TikTok video that made you feel good. You have to sit with it. You have to question it. You have to push back. You have to find the truth in it for yourself, or leave it be. Okay. That's it. We will see you next Wednesday. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out and tuning in with me. Visit rickyray.com to peruse all of my empowered healing workshops, my tuning in courses. Want to buy a crystal? I got that for you. It's all there. It's all there. Everything I offer is right there. rickyray.com. See you next week.